Hello and welcome to this tutorial on Autotrac, a feature inside Finaeon, a new web application for analyzing and downloading historical financial information from global financial data. I'll assume that you have already viewed the Introduction to Finaeon tutorial. If not, check out our library. This video is a deep dive into Autotrac. We will learn what Autotrac is and how to use it to group series together for downloading. We will learn the different ways to create an Autotrac workbook and how to add series to it. We'll learn how to import into Autotrac and how Autotrac has been extended to work with different areas of the application. On to the topic at hand. Autotrac was conceived as a way to group series together for downloading. Autotrac consists of a list of workbooks set up in a single level tree structure. The base of the tree has the name of the organization the user belongs to. And below that you can set up as many folders as you like. In each folder, called a workbook, you can build up a list of series that you can group into a single download. Now let's make a new workbook and populate it. There are several ways to make a new Autotrac workbook: via context menu, via command button, automatically as part of a download, and in the home area of the application. Let's look at those in order. To create a workbook using a context menu, right-click your mouse over the tree. From here, simply select Create New, and a new workbook will appear in the list titled New Workbook. If that title is already taken, it will append a numerical value at the end of New Workbook. The number applied will depend on how many workbooks share the name New Workbook. Another way to create a workbook is to simply press the plus sign below the tree, and that will create a new workbook folder. The third way to create a workbook happens automatically when you press the download button anywhere in the application except in Autotrac. The name of this folder is called Insta Download Workbook. If it already exists, it wipes out any series list it contains and populates it with the series selected for the new download. I'll show you the automatic way and another way to create a workbook via import in a moment, but it's in a different interface, so let's stay here for the time being and talk about other Autotrac features. First, let's clean up this Autotrac list a bit. To remove a workbook and everything in it, simply click the workbook and either right-click and choose Remove or click the Remove button, which is red and marked with an X. A confirmation modal screen will pop up. Click OK and the workbook is gone. Let me just add that back. Okay, so once you've created a workbook, you can add series to it two ways: either searching for series to add or by exporting from other parts of the application. To add a series via search, type the search into the search box, and you should start seeing search results right away via autocomplete. Select from an autocomplete to put the complete description in the text field, and then click its associated Add button. It's the plus next to the search box. The autocomplete results are in part determined by some properties that can be set with this Search for Options button. It brings up a modal window which has 4 sets of radio buttons. You can set the search to match your input on the name or symbol, if the request starts with, includes, or is an exact match for what is in the search box, how to sort the returns, and the maximum number of returns. Now you can simply repeat the search until you've built up your workbook. I set the options to search via symbol, and you can see how this affects the autocomplete. Let's just add this one. We have 2 symbols in our list now, but instead of loading the rest one at a time, let's get them from a few other parts of the application. Let's load up the Home section and see how it interacts with Autotrac. Let's use a search engine to look for some technology stocks. We'll open up the US stock search and look for a sector called Information Technology. Let's get a little bit more specific and set the industry to software. Then we'll hit the search button. I like that result, so let's export the first page of 10 records into our Technology Autotrac workbook. We'll set this checkbox to select the whole page and hit the Add Selected Series to an Autotrac Workbook button. That brings up a modal screen with our Autotrac workbooks in it. You can create a new workbook here like this, or you can choose an existing workbook. Let's choose the Technology workbook and click the Save button. The selected series are saved to the workbook. Now if we go to Autotrac, we can click the Technology folder and see the series that were added. Notice that there are only 11, not 12. Microsoft was already in this workbook, so it was omitted from the import so that the series data is not duplicated. Now I'll show you a different way to export into AutoTrac, but first notice that there are no series in my Insta Download workbook. We'll go to the home page and select the first page of series in the default search engine result. By clicking the Download button, I initiate a download of these series, but Finaeon also imports these into my Insta Download workbook. Now I can cancel this download, and we'll go into AutoTrac to see that the Insta Download workbook is now populated with the series that we had selected and initiated a download of. I can safely rename Insta Download workbook and save it for a future download, effectively creating a new populated workbook. And the next time I initiate a download, a new Insta Download workbook will be created and populated. Once you have the series you want in the workbook, downloading is as easy as clicking the download button at the bottom of the grid, selecting downloading options, and then clicking the download button on the modal screen. The download screen includes a status bar that will update the actions performed by the server as it gathers data and streams it to your device. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'll limit the data only 10 years, and will only show monthly data. That should make the download pretty quick. Once the download is complete, your browser will present you with your file, and you can save it or open it to view the data. I use the default Excel spreadsheet as the format for this download, so when I click to open this file, Excel fires up and it shows me the data. Thank you for watching this tutorial about AutoTrac. We learned what AutoTrac is and how to use it to group series together for downloading. We learned the different ways to create an AutoTrac workbook and how to add series. We learned how to import into AutoTrac and how AutoTrac has been extended to work with different areas of the application. For more information on switching or downloading or any other features of Finaeon, be sure to check out our other videos.